launched in 2004 in Jamaica. A lot of you should know it was designed as a kind of ultimate outreach by the government to Jamaicans abroad. Because previous years, they used to come over, ministers come, have a meeting at the High Commission, come to Birmingham, have a meeting at some venue. Let's wait until the elephant passes. I used to lecture at a university in Swaziland in Africa, and it was open plan. And sometime when I'm lecturing, the elephants would walk past. And once they know there were people there, they would make a noise just to let you know. So I used to say to students, let's wait till the elephant passes. So they wanted to make this outreach to the diaspora instead of just come and engage you. Because everybody can engage you. Come talk to you and gone. That's just mere engagement. But what we want was to move from engagement to a policy, partnership, ongoing, standing partnership. And in 2004, they called a conference in Jamaica, America, Canada, UK, and elsewhere to come and set this thing up. Each international region was asked to go back and set up a national body to take all the problems that you have and refer them to them in Jamaica for solving. That's what they call the diaspora issue. Problems that you have over here that cannot be solved in England, they can only be solved in Jamaica. So we set up this thing and launched it in 2005 called the Jamaican Diaspora UK, a national network of Jamaicans. And since that launch in 2005, we've had some great successes, but we've had some lick down and mash up. I can't tell you how many times the wheels come off the wagon, and we have to put it back on. Bad mind, ego, conspiracy, and a whole heap of bagga. JDUK is divided into 6 regions: the North, East Midlands, the West Midlands, which is us, Eastern region, Southwest region, London and the South. How many that? We can't talk and count at the same time. 6, thank you. We are the West Midland region. So, I welcome you to this meeting, and bear in mind the purpose why we are here is not to duplicate what other community groups are doing. We are here trying to do a specific task. What are the issues and the problems Jamaicans have that can solve here? And how do we engage with Jamaica to solve it? I finished my introduction by saying this. You're welcome, my brother. The great Beresford Dawkins, a big man in the city, health director. I finished my introduction by saying this. When Beresford came, it backs out of my head.
No duplication of what's done in other regions.
Yes,
And things which can't be done in Jamaica should be done here.
that's right. Thank you very much, Alderman. Now, I finished my introduction by saying this. In the 1948s, coming right down to the early time of our recent post-war arrival in this country, the big issue for Jamaicans was how to settle. That was the pain, the agony area, how to settle. Find somewhere to live, buy a house, get a job, look after picking them, get them into a good school. All those obstacles that we had to overcome in settling down. Today, 70 years later after Windrush, the big issue is how to go. There are 3 million plus Jamaicans abroad, more than the population of Jamaica. And the statistics say that over 2 million of them want to return, but can't go because they're afraid. The fear of violence, the fear of relatives, the fear of the health service that them have to run come back. And people laugh after them. You know, run go and see them have to run come back here. It's no shame. So we know, how do we organize ourselves to accommodate that passion of people who would like to go? That's the introduction.
Then at that point, the land passes are arrived now. Does anybody want the land passes now?
That jerk and vegan combo.
So we can just do that now.
Yes.
And then carry on.
Have a party. It's a cultural thing. Brother Cunningham?
Yes,
Yeah, okay.
5 minutes break, Chairman.
Doctor, would you like a party? Thank you, my darling. Yeah.
Do you want a drink?
No, thank you, I got no water. But I'll take a beef pat. Osiris. Osiris. You want a patty? A beef one. Nice to see you, man. Thank you, man. Yeah. You don't know how joyful I am.
You're good.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
Madam is on our way.
Okay. You get somebody bring you on. Them hot.
This one is like, yeah? This one like for live stream.
All right.
For live stream.
Yeah.
For live stream, for news service, live on Breakthrough TV. No.
Okay. What do? When you come back, I want you to I wanted to give a 10-minute start. How are you doing?
So, who all will I watch me now? Will I? Will I come in?
Oh, God. This is so embarrassing. The young man just tell me that we're on Breakthrough TV. We are going live. And me with my Franklin Town Kingston accent. God International. What's your name, sir? Errol. Nice to see you, Errol. Yeah, okay, good. Right, so what has happened then, I've just been told by, could you help me with the name again? Yeah, your name. Thank you, Brother Shannon, forgive me. I've just been told by Brother Shannon that we're on Breakthrough TV and we're going live out into the universe. And hear me talking with this Franklin Town Bacawal accent. So let us start to speak properly. So
Just
that
be yourself, Ben. Just be normal.
And maybe somebody could take over a chair. So what we've done in the West-Midlands then, we are the Jamaican Diaspora, UK, West-Midlands. This is who we are. And 2 points before we go to the agenda. We are structured in this way. We have membership, the general membership, which is this meeting tonight. And we have a working group that plan these meetings. Serving on that working group is myself, moi, Mr. Maxie Hales, who everybody knows. We have a secretary. Is it secretary or secretary? We have a secretary. She's apologizing, she's running late. And 2 other persons who have apologized for not being here tonight. So, looking at our agenda then, the purpose for this meeting. So what we are looking at is what the planning group has organized for us to consider. The purpose of the meeting then, we're going to review the report from the planning group. So the review is that we sat down in the last planning group meeting and we decided to look at what are the issues. What are the issues that we need to address as a group? to make us relevant. So we don't just meet and become a talking shop. What are those issues that we need to approve of and then work on? Because the worst thing for any organization is to be into what I call a crisis of relevance. Once that lick you, there's no recovery. And one of the things that we thought was relevant, we're going to come back to them later on, how do we make sure that the things that bother we and we send to Jamaica, how do they get implemented? How do we activate them? Who takes them forward? Who do they go to? And what we need is an executive agency. I've been asking for a, what do they call it? Whiteboard marker. So just write down, one of the first things we need is an executive agency. The next thing, we have people sending down philanthropic assistance to Jamaica, barrels, shipment, container to hospitals and clinics, but they are being held up at the wharf. So we need to talk to them down there and ask them to implement what we've agreed, that all charitable donations to Jamaica must go through without any duty. Thank you very much. So those are some of the things we looked at, and I'll come back to them. Hello, Serena. Yeah. Before we go to number 3, is it 3 or 3?
3.
Jamaicans and Irish people say 3. Before we go to number 3, one of the things that we were told is that a number of members of parliament wants to come up to England to meet us.
No.
From which party then?
They're the opposition. That's right. But they are not coming up as PNP. They are coming up as parliamentarians, opposition. Sooner or later, in a few days' time, somebody will win the election to the leadership of the Conservative Party. That person will become the leader of the party. That's all. He not reached nowhere yet. He must not reached nowhere yet. They have to go to meet Her Majesty the Queen.
She's not meeting them, she's grand.
Where you get that?
In record.
So that means it goes to the golden triangle.
Says she had other issues with the map.
I heard that she's not meeting them at Bucky. They have to meet her at Balmoral. They're going to meet her at Balmoral.
Yeah.
I want to love this conspiracy. Please see something.
I was going to say, is that published, that information?
She can't do that. She can never do that.
That's Putin who's going to the funeral.
Yes. So, although he or she becomes the leader, it's not done. They have to go to the Queen, who appoints that person Prime Minister. And not only he's the Prime Minister, but he or she is asked to form a government. At that point, the Queen will also acknowledge the opposition whose official name is Her Majesty's Opposition. Jamaican Parliament runs the same way exactly. All members of Parliament in Jamaica have to sign, and not sign, have to swear an allegiance to the Queen and her heirs. Whether I don't like it or not, I might stick on the craw. That is what happened. At the end of the day, we have a situation where the government is there, Her Majesty's government, headed by the Governor General, and Her Majesty's opposition. I say that long-windedly to say that they are coming up as Her Majesty's opposition in Parliament. Santi, hello, I didn't see you when you come in. And the young lady beside you?
Shani, that's my sister.
Oh, is that your sister? Oh, pleased to meet you. So they're coming up to meet us. And what we want to do, ladies and gentlemen, brothers and sisters, we want to have a meeting with them where all guns are firing. We don't want to go there and sit down and hear nobody give us speech and talk to us about what them these and what them. We are going to talk to them about what we want. We are going to talk to them about issues that we face. And issues, when we look at issues, Beresford will bear me out. Issues are problems. And problems are solved by prescriptive solutions. Remember that. My word, I designed that word.
Prescriptive solutions.
When you don't leave here, if you don't remember anything else, you must remember prescriptive solution. That is policy. Policy is coming up with a prescriptive solution to a problem. So we want the issue to be translated to policy level. You know, when you reach policy, you're talking business. Anybody can talk to you, but if it don't translate into a definite policy, you have women being beaten up. And some dog-breath man who don't know how to handle his relation, dubbing fist and some batter. And it's some local authority decide to deal with that problem, and they have a battered wife center. That's a policy to look after battered women. Domestic, thank you very much. It's called domestic violence. That's right. They have a policy on domestic violence. So what we want as a people is we want more policies towards us.
Okay.
You are here as leaders. So we want to know what kind of issues you think we should be bringing to them. I may have caught you cold, but can we sit down and talk before we go into planning and how to receive them, and which is number 3. What are some of the issues you think that we should have? One of them I will start. Shall I start? Shall I start?
Let me prepare a question. Like organization will be prepare now. Prepare a question that you want. Not just your question, but the organization question.
That's
and
what
you're saying may not satisfy other people.
I agree. I agree.
And
That's what I've just...
We have a question ready that we may not forget. It's the right question. This is politics to talk to.
Thank you, Mr. Cunningham. That is what I've just said. What are those issues that you think we should bring to that delegation?
And how many have there been?
When they thought, I think they was looking at 8 of them coming. The leader, the foreign affairs spokesperson, but I've seen where she stepped down. Yeah? Is anybody aware of that?
Yeah,
So what?
say what then?
Lisa Hanna stepped down. And the spokesperson for Diaspora Affairs is coming. He's told me he's coming. And so on. So I don't know if I've caught you cold, but are there any issues that you think are problems that Jamaicans have that need solving in Jamaica that you think we should ask them to translate into a policy? I think the first one, that's just mine, Brother Negley, but you can come up with yours. The first one is we need an executive agency that look after diaspora people when they return home. In Israel, they have a returning agency for Jews. And if they reach any airport or shipping port and any problem at all, you see the big Jewish number all over the airport or the seaport, and you ring that number. And when an official from that agency comes and wave that thing, everybody back. No Jew should have a problem at coming into Israel. And if you settle there and people come and give you grief, you pick up the phone. And we can discuss with that.
What that looks like.
Any other issue?
Ben, can I say, what you've just said just now is covered by the issue of security. Obviously, you're talking about looking after people, and that's very good. But I think, as you indicated earlier, most Jamaicans, their major concern about Jamaica is the personal security. I don't think they need the government to help them. I think most people going back to Jamaica and look after themselves. The main thing that they can't do is prevent any kind of personal threat. So what I do know is that in general, the Jamaican government tried to protect tourists. And a lot of criminals in Jamaica are very aware that if they touch a tourist, the police will come for them. They know this. So they tend to stay away from tourists. And I don't think the same protection is accorded to returnees. So I think a major concern always should be what kind of protection, security will people journey be given. I think that's the main thing people want.
Thank you.
So again, Mr. Chair, this may be not a simple solution, because I'm looking at the violent aspect of Jamaican culture, but trying to get at the roots of it. Historically, we treated the symptoms. Bad boys develop, the police get more equipment, they get better intelligence, they get rough and so forth. They shoot them and do what they do. But that's not preventing the issue or the problem that's manifested. We go from here, and I've got to say, I don't go to Jamaica because the perception of crime that I know is there. Even if it doesn't affect me, it's on the news, it's in the everyday talk. And I don't want to hear about young black men killing themselves, killing each other, and so forth. So one of my issues that I've always looked at is how to get under the underlying issues and encourage Jamaica to look at the underlying issues. So for example, I've just made mention of this last year. And the perception of Jamaica is that the bad ones ended up in Jamaica. So that's why we see it. We come from the backside and so on. So none of these people are true. So the information I want to convey there, there are no bad people that came from, very many came from West Africa and Ghana, of course. There weren't bad people who came there, but these young men who they hyper communicate that kind of perception of themselves. The bad ones who came. The ones who came, they were prisoners of the Ashanti Wars. They were warriors, disciplined, organized people who knew how to fight wars. That's why we have so much people so injured. My larger point would be, why is the history of our connection to West Africa not being taught properly? So that young people can understand their background, appreciate their backgrounds, a sense of identity, a sense of knowing who they are. And they can relate better to each other as being passed along. They came through a similar struggle. The heroes of so, because we will stand up, we will represent.
Set boundaries.
We're circular. We were in America during the wartime period in 1948. We were in Britain during 1940. My dad was there during the war. And then we were doing the work in America as farm laborers. And they changed the perception of African American people because of how they looked at issues of injustice and segregation and all of that. So I'd like Jamaicans, just in closing, to look at this that route and really teach it properly and celebrate it properly. Emancipation Day, for example, is a small matter compared to the thing that happened a couple of days after the independence. Now, the emancipation should be a bigger thing. It's an opportunity for Jamaica to heal, to come together, to understand that background, and teach it to young people. To get a sense of themselves.
Thank you. You know, my head don't work so good, so you really have to forgive me. We've got some people here that sitting up here and no one said to me who are those people. No, and I say go. This is Jennifer with an organization called Ujima.
I will introduce. Yeah, that's fine.
Go ahead, Jenny, 1 minute.
Okay.
And then Serena, and then Marcia.
Yeah. Thank you. Ben.
We're not against what you said, guys.
I also want to address that point as well. Yeah, my name is Jennifer. I'm the founder and the chair of an organisation that used to be called BEN. Recently, last year, changed to the Regional Partnership. So we are a social enterprise, a community organisation, which is made up of members. We have roughly about 100 members from various elements of the community, from health and well-being, business, housing, education. There's a few people as part of the membership of UGMA. What we believe in working in partnership and collaboration. We don't believe in reinventing the wheel, okay? So if there's anything that's positive within the community, within the West-Midlands, and even on a national basis, UGMA, we are the one that will support another organisation as well as ourselves to implement that change. You mentioned policy making. I mean, I'm also a part of the international relations for Unison. So I represent Unison on a local and national level. Jamaica is one of my main interests in terms of the issues, what's going on in the Caribbean, identifying the issues and working collaboratively so we can, think of ways of, supporting whatever's going on in that particular country. I'm also part of the Corporate Black Workers Group, which Mars is part of as well. And again, it's a community cohesion organisation, mainly working with members of Birmingham City Council in this wider spectrum. So, there's a few things going on. Recently, as of today, I will be based here, okay? We are looking for members of the community to support with our initiative, to utilise what we're doing, and also, come and speak to me if you've got any ideas and suggestions. I'm here for you, okay? So that's me in a nutshell.
Wonderful. Very, very clever person who we should be proud of.
Thank you.
So we've got Ujima. I'm sorry. And then we've got the Jamaica Cultural Association. We have Vision to Reality. We have PNP.
So hi everyone, my name's Serena Alnor. I am the chair of Jamaican Cultural Association. We're kind of a baby actually. We've just started off. We have a group of about 60 people that we're engaging at the moment and really kind of looking at what is the group's mission and how we're going to start working together with people like Ben and Jennifer and Marcia and yourselves to engage the young people, those between the age groups of 30 and 45, because
Come up here, sir. Come up here. Sorry.
Yeah, because there's a gap between the older generation and the younger generation, and the issues that we have with staying connected to Jamaica is completely different to the older generation. So for example, speaking to some 35 to 45-year-olds recently, what I'm finding that we actually don't have an issue with violence, so to speak. I mean, that's been a ringing theme with the older generation. However, for us, it's more about how we can find ways of continuing to make money in the UK to invest in Jamaica. One of the things that is coming up often is we realise that it's kind of like, it's about staying away from certain types of people. And that's something that we've trained ourselves to do here as well, because you can kind of get caught up in situations with the wrong types of people if you're involving yourself. So it's kind of a bit of a catch-22, and we've got different kind of barriers to what's preventing us from investing mainly in Jamaica. So that's what our project's about.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Beresford, you may need to link up with Samina at some point. Vision to reality, just 1 minute, please.
Okay, so my business is mainly event management, so vision to reality event management, and use events to engage people within the community, to manage isolation, and to look at well-being and employment issues for young people. So using that as a platform to encourage and support. I'm also the chair of the Corporate Black Worker Support Group for Birmingham City Council, and what we tend to do is to look at how we are working with community organisations to address some of those issues that we are facing within the council, but also what the community is facing. Our main purpose is to look at how we bridge that gap between black people being at the lower end of the ladder within the council, working with the council and the chief exec to actually address those issues. But we know we can't do it alone, and we look for allies to work within the community as well within the council in order to develop
Right, thank you very much.
Just a quick word from Elaine, community talkback, just a quick word.
Okay,
Are you with an organisation, Elaine?
yeah, I'm with the radio station.
With the?
Radio station.
Radio?
Radio station.
Is that the name?
No,
No.
with a radio station.
It's Genesis Radio Birmingham.
Genesis Radio Birmingham.
Yeah, and New Style.
Let's spell Genesis again.
Genesis, I think it's the Bible.
Yeah, it's in the Bible.
G-E-N?
Genesis of Chicken George fame.
Genesis. Genesis what?
Radio Birmingham.
She's just being extra.
And New Style.
Yeah. It's that radio.
Continue, my darling.
Okay, I'm a gap really from the community bringing it onto the airways. So what goes on in the community, I discuss on my show. So we're here to help anyone really that needs help or got like your guys' organisation, you can link with me. Yeah, so if you've got something going on, and then I could be like saying it out there, and you know, have reached that gap basically. Yeah, so so we've been running for about 7 years, basically, and it's been good. We've done a lot of work in the community. So there's plenty more that needs doing, and plenty more people that we need to reach.
Well done.
So hopefully we can go forward. And with this organisation also,
yeah,
we can be out there reaching a lot of people. So,
thank you.
And where they're based, is where?
Yeah, we're based at the Legacy Centre.
You're based at the Legacy
Yeah,
Centre.
Legacy.
Right.
So if anybody needs
and what we're talking about now is how we can all come together under this umbrella. Guy, what is your organisation again?
It's a Ghanaian name means a boy child born on a Sunday. Kwesi.
Kwesi. How you spell it, guy?
Kwesi.
Kwesi. 1 minute, guy?
1 minute, me?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't expect it.
No, we're looking at organization
Okay.
tonight. When we leave here, we will have a group.
Yes. Yeah.
Don't joke now. We're going to have a group. Is that, can I have an amen?
Amen.
Good. Kwesi.
All right. So under the notion it takes a village to raise a child, what I did back in 1994 was to gather a group of black men together. Quite focused idea. And the idea was for us to work with the Birmingham Education City Council and put black men in the schools where males in particular having issues around exclusion, behavior, underachievement, poor performance, and all that kind of stuff. So we set up, I call it RAP, reasoning about positive and possibilities. So the broader name was Kwesi. Knowledge, wisdom, these are the essential qualities of the mentor. Knowledge, wisdom, experience, common sense, and insights. That became Kwesi, which was a Ghanaian word meaning boy child born on a Sunday. And as you know, the boy child born on a Sunday is bonny and blithe and good and gay. Couldn't say that to the young men I was working with. I could rule the bonny and blithe, but the gay men.
Thank you very much, Guy.
I just say that the Kwesi Project was the first black mentoring organisation in the West-Midlands.
Okay.
And I did that with local head teacher from Foundry School.
Yes.
Gilroy Brown.
Thank you. Ken, your organization?
Opal.
Uno listen, man. Excuse me. The meeting mash up already. And OPOL.
Meaning our people, our legacy.
1 minute, please.
We're an organization that's trying to get our black community together to see if we can purchase and run big businesses. The first thing we tried, this is going back about 7 years ago, was to identify that as a black people, we did not have a banqueting suite. And as you know, we spend millions of pounds per year hiring from the Asians, from Chinese, from the white man, and whoever else. And we haven't got that. So we got together and said, let us do that. We were fortunate enough to invest in the Legacy Center of Excellence. So that's covered some of it. But now we're looking for properties to purchase so we can have black people to run them.
Thank you very much, Ken. Opal. Yeah. Well, Karen, would you like to give us 1 minute?
Sean Byfield.
This is Dr. Byfield, yeah?
She didn't say doctor. I can say it.
Sean Byfield. I think a number of people will know of Black Boys Can, National Black Boys Can, which we set up back in 1999. And that was essentially about raising the aspirations and achievements of black boys. It's a national organisation that works in schools, in partnership with universities. We did a lot of work with the government, both of the major political parties. We extended our project to include other disadvantaged groups of children. So we set up the WISE project under Excel 3, running alongside Black Boys Can. I'm also the founder for King Solomon International Business School, which is an all-through school based in central Birmingham with early years, primary, secondary and sixth form children. It's based just near the old Waterlinks house building. The school is not currently in the hands of the black community, but the school is very much there and it remains a Christian school in the heart of Birmingham.
And recently they've had some deep water and turbulence, and we're going to try to end up at the very end of the meeting by giving Dr. Byfield and her people something to rescue the perishing and care for the dying. What is happening there? She's not telling you the whole story, but we applaud her and her team of setting up this magnificent full-time school. What, you know? Paul? Yeah, okay.
Oral from Vows Community Enterprise. Vows. VOWS. It stands for Various Outreach Working Services.
And it's Vows?
Community Enterprise.
Go ahead, Brother Paul.
Yeah. Part of what we do as an organization within the community is engage with our senior citizens and young people and try to bridge the gap between the two groups. We also do a lot of work around the Windrush legacy. And it's about letting our young people aware of the journey that our parents and our seniors took back in those days, and then give us the opportunity to be here today and to call here our own. A lot of people who are engaged with, especially young people, they are not aware of the importance of the Windrush journey. So I try to reach out to them and to get them to engage with our seniors. I also do an annual Windrush event, which we try and engage with a lot of our seniors and bring them out into the community. Because what we're trying to do is to let people understand and realize, even though they're in their 80s and 90s, and for some in their 100, they are still part of our community. So therefore, we should always have that dialogue with them. I would like to take this opportunity to just inform the audience that one of the gentlemen that I used to work with was a World War II veteran. I don't know if you see him on the telly, Mr. Jarrett. You know, he was one that I bring to the forefront, and he's now passed away. You know, so he's no longer with us. His funeral will be on the 21st of this month. So whoever can, you know, get time to come and pay the respect, the family would much appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you, Brother Paul. Beresford, are you with an organization you are to?
Yes. Okay, so
what we're trying to look at Beresford, when these members of parliament come up, we're going to have a session where all these organizations will be able to represent and engage with them. So we're looking for...
So very quickly, and I work for Birmingham Solihull Mental Health Club. Birmingham Solihull Mental Health Club. I am the community development manager. Work with them for 12 years. So the issue I want to bring to this meeting, and that's why there's, I think, a direct link, and I'll come to that in a minute, is I've worked for them for 12 years. And some of the issues around mental health, the stigma within our community is one of the biggest challenges we face in our community around mental health. And then we're trying to also improve mental health issues. So just to give you some data very quickly, in 2013-2015, we look after 60,000 patients within Birmingham and Solihull, right? And it's a 1.2 million catchment area. And in 2013-2015, 30,000 of those individuals, right, over that period, describe themselves as from the Birmingham community. I don't like that term, but you will see where I'm going with this. And when you break down that 30,000, that includes African Caribbean, and just under 9,000 of those specifically from the Caribbean, right? Of Caribbean heritage, and that also includes mixed race. Now, there's a clear issue around identity. There's a high number of disproportionality within our secure and forensic service. And I'm wanting to develop a cultural exchange program that looks at cultural identity, but also looking at professionals from here who want to go to Jamaica to learn some things from Jamaica, because I think from a community engagement point of view, Jamaicans do mental health community engagement quite well. They're not so good at doing the institutional stuff, and we could learn from them how they do community engagement, and likewise they can learn from us how we do institutional stuff. And that's a long, very quick way of describing cultural exchange programs, but it's just trying to give you some context.
Thank you very much. We will come back to you during the program this evening. Very important.
Just say that quickly. This man in his outreach work has helped this organization quite significantly, but he's very modest about it.
I want to say that I've known Beresford as a very significant player in the city council and public sector in Birmingham for many years. I don't know how he managed to. I know he was so young as a gym. He had that worked out very hard. All of everybody else, and there were 3 people here: myself, Nelly Cunningham, and Gareth. Calvert. We're from a political organization who we will not mention. So we have been very much at the heart of it.
I also have elderly group that we meet from 1984 till now.
What's the name?
West-Midlands People Progressive Association. A lot of old men been hanging around the street for many years, and some of them want to go home, but nobody at home. The home not nice on the street. And so we try to, and on Tuesday, this gentleman also joined us. This gentleman here.
All right.
And on a Tuesday, we have a coffee morning for about 50 people. We play domino, we chat about everything. Some people can't really communicate. They're afraid to talk to people, and they don't know how to talk to people. So we pick argument with them, sit with them, talk with them, and they come alive. And this is what we're trying to do with our elders in the area. They're lonely, there's nowhere to go. People robbing them, and trying to, we try hard to get something for ourselves. Because the last 2 this year, last month, the gentleman was talking about Albert, he came to her from the Windrush program, he came to her Tuesday, every Tuesday. And we played him, and I'm very happy. Surprisingly, he died just after the Windrush thing. If you go up the centenary situation of Wale, and the Prime Minister, the King, Queen, son, is there. So we try to help the elders in the area who have been neglected by their own children, their own family. They're lonely, so the family want to rob them, the son want to rob them, and all kind of things going on. And they don't know where they are. They want to take away what they got and kill them quick. The family passion. And all these things going on, and what we can do to stop. Really dangerous to go. Soho Community Hall. Chapter Street.
Thank you very much, Mr. Collins.
Yeah, just to quickly say, I'm from Prison Link, which is a resettlement organisation primarily. But we also run a course called the Basic Training Prison Work Course 4 times a year at the University and the Birmingham Prisons Training Centre. We've been going since 1985, so it's quite an established organisation. I also work at BBC Radio Dublin as well on Sunday nights with Nicky Tapper on the production team from 8 PM to 10 PM, so I hope you'll be listening to the show this week.
Thank you very much, Sir Ricky. One of the most important community workers. Now, can I just say, are there anyone here representing another organization? I know there are individuals here, but let me just get to the organization first. People who organize themselves in a group.
Can I ask, we're developmental.
Sorry?
Developmental, we're in the process of setting up.
You're in the process?
Yeah.
It's allowed.
Okay, so I just wanted to check. I didn't know where I fit, so I thought I'd jump in a minute. Yeah, so my name's Jo, and I work alongside a lady called Empress. Can you hear me okay? Yeah? And we're in the
Is that the two? No.
No, it's a different. Yeah. And the organisations are in the process. There's going to be called, it is called Community Unite.
Community
Unite. Yeah. And basically, it's a culturally sensitive advocacy service. So it's around advocacy. Basically, we're looking around. There's some names that I've heard in the room. So we're kind of looking around kind of mental health, criminal justice, education, specifically around obviously overarching about education, like the gentleman speaking about exclusion and things like that. But also thinking about special education needs, around autism, learning disabilities, that sort of thing, because I know Varys was mentioned about stigma, and there's a big stigma around that as well. And particularly around, there's a big gap between special education needs and mental health. I think it doesn't belong to either or, but actually a lot of unmet needs and stem into that mental health arena, and there's a lot of stigma within our community. So for ourselves, that's what we're kind of looking to do as an overarch, and looking at that relationship between like advocacy and therapy, because actually a lot of the times when we think about a person holistically as a whole person, sometimes the advocacy issue can interrupt the therapy. But when we talk about therapy, again, in a cultural appropriate manner, thinking in a more creative way, so like thinking about the dance therapy, and that sort of stuff, moving away from the traditional model. So I don't know if I've gone over my 1 minute, but that's us in a nutshell. I'm very soon getting ready to do some workshops around that to create our baseline, to then obviously apply for further funding. So that's it.
You spoke about mental health and things like that, and I have a project on violence. It's a documentary looking at the reasons why black women don't seek justice for crimes committed against them. That might help with a lot of research when you're looking at girls and women. Any research into or girls and women, you'll be able to identify some of the issues that prevent us from reporting crimes.
Can I just say one final appeal? Is there anyone here who is representing an organization? Any other person that I'd like to? Right. So what the outcome, when we talk about the outcome of this meeting tonight, is to gather that collective that will meet with these MPs. And I'm hoping that you will all come, bring your members with you to that meeting, or if you don't have nobody to come with you, come along and present those cases to that group. And also to defend the issues. At the end of that meeting, it must be they contact you and at the end they must return to Jamaica with policy in their head. This is what we are asking you to implement as policy. A policy and delivery.
So then are you asking us to look at our individual projects?
No.
And how we can...
No, I'm asking you to be, but I'm asking you to get ready for the 8th of October, come along and defend the issues that we are going to. Yeah, that's right. So, we will look at the executive agency, and then Manu was talking about the problem with the gun, with the violence. What? Just give me a second. What is the problem of violence in Jamaica? You know, when I used to lecture, I used to tell the students, when I give you an assignment, I don't expect you to come back with answer, because sometimes they don't answer. Tell me what is the problem. What is the assignment topic? What is the problem that the assignment topic is asking you to identify? And once you identify the problem, gone. You know, bad man in Jamaica, take what the gun from the man feet, he's a pussycat. The gun is the #1 problem. We are celebrating 16 years of independence. When Jamaica got independent, 1 year after, they passed a law in Parliament, the Gun Licensing Act, the first thing they go license gun for everybody gun. When Singapore got independence 4 years later, the first thing they did in the Singaporean parliament was to remove the gun licensing act. No one was able to own a gun in Singapore. Today them a build ship. Today in Jamaica them a build coffin. What is it about? Why would you want to pass law give people gun?
Ben, can I say something about this? Because the fact that guns are in Jamaica, it's not the problem itself. Guns don't shoot themselves. It's symptomatic of something else, something much, as the brother was talking about, the deeper roots of things in Jamaica.
Yeah, definitely.
I could go on and on about the subject of violence. Probably my favorite book, Franz Fanon, The Wretched Earth, and the first chapter is called On Violence. And I don't think anyone has ever discussed violence more profoundly, both in terms of country like Jamaica and international, in terms of what we call the third world. What I'm going to try and do is say very simple in probably less than 3 minutes what I think is some very deep, profound ideas. Clearly, what Fanon argues and what I would agree with is that violence is usually, in the context of Jamaica, South Africa, the same kind of problem, is what he calls the internalization of violence, meaning that the violence is symptomatic of other things going on. And I think it could be sensibly argued that the reason why guns are in Jamaica, the reason why there's so much killing of what the brother called ordinary people, is because of the structural problem of Jamaica, the inequalities, the poverty. And that has a lot of consequences for it. And until you tackle those issues, sorry, Brendan, I'm going to finish now. Until you tackle those issues, guns are going to be in Jamaica. Then it's complicated by the fact that there are corrupt politicians whose interest it was to give guns to different groups to maintain themselves. So I'm afraid, I don't know them, but even these very politicians who are coming to visit us might well have been implicated in this tarnished history in Jamaica, where the politicians who don't get killed, but they're ordinary people who they themselves instigate. So I think this is a key. The issue is, if you say guns, yes, of course the guns would kill people, but there's a reason why guns are in Jamaica, there's a reason why people want guns in Jamaica, and there's a reason why ordinary people, there's a reason, Philip Murphy, there's a reason why ordinary people kill each other. It's a big subject, believe me, I could go on and on forever, but I won't, I'm going to stop there, okay? It's a deep issue.
Sorry, just to...
Please bear in mind that what we are discussing is something that we will have to put into a policy. Always say no, it's not a policy.
Yeah, well, this is a conversation before we get into the policy. I was born over here, so I'm not from, well, my parents are from Jamaica. I've been to Jamaica a few times, and I also pay attention to what's going on in the country, okay, and, reading certain media outlets like the media and other things like that. There is a deep-rooted issue in Jamaica that goes beyond today's meeting, okay? That also goes beyond even the start-up policy changing. I think the conversation needs to be had in terms of agreeing. There's so many issues in Jamaica. We need to focus on one main issue, and rather than look at a blanket of all the issues that's going on, we need to focus on the main issue and see if we can put a policy towards the delegates that's going to come to this country. You mentioned about returnees. What can we do to make their journey a lot easier? Well, I think there's more things that's going on than just the returnees. What's going on with people in Jamaica themselves? Yes, gun is a major problem in Jamaica. But there's other things going on. There's young kids being raped. There's a lot of things going on, and it's a big problem. And as a JDUK diaspora group, we can't tackle every single issue, but we need to focus on one main issue, because that's when you'll see the results. So I do agree in terms of thinking about policy. We need to work collectively and decide on the one policy that's going to make a difference, because we'll be all over the place.
And on that note, can everybody just take their paper, just write down, 1 minute, just write down what you personally think
will prevent people from returning to Jamaica, and then we'll look at where the similarities are and stuff.
No, sorry, I'm going to ask them to go there. What I'm trying to get at is, Jennifer, it's not one policy, we are looking at what we think could be. What I brought here in this meeting is what a number of people have told me that they want to look at. The executive aid, they want a policy around that. They want a policy around the guns and about the executive agency. They want a policy about car import.
So what does the organisation and as individuals, you don't have to ask people who have come here today to...
I'm asking the audience, I'm asking the group. Yeah. So what I'm saying is that people who want, in Michael Manley came up and listened to a group of people and they told them one of the years that they had was when they go home, they weren't able to carry their cars. That was during the 80s, 70s and so on. And he went back and put in place a policy where if you're from abroad, you lived abroad as a diaspora, you carry on the car, they do the processing, and if it's £100, you only pay £25. That was changed in '93 when Patterson came to power. I've had phone calls from people saying they would like us to say this policy must come back. Right? I'm just running through, that's what I'm doing. I'm just running through all of this to say, at the end of the day, I'm coming to you, Serena, when you say, what else do I do?
There's things that people will really think about, that we think that's the whole point of being here, to have a brainstorm.
The next point, the final one I want to raise before we go to ask everybody, is an idea where we, Beresford raised it, people would like to have a placement exchange situation with Jamaica and could the government facilitate that?
Well, we're actually in talks with the Minister of Tourism already. So that's something that we can move forward once they come.
Two-thirds of the Jamaicans in this country, two-thirds of them were not born in Jamaica. Only one-third of Jamaicans living here actually come from Jamaica. These Jamaicans that are born here, they are Jamaicans. The Constitution tells them that they are Jamaicans. It says people born abroad of Jamaican citizenship are Jamaicans. However, they have a problem with their relationship and Jamaica. People, grandparents die, leave 4-bedroom house in Mandeville, and they've left it in a will to them, and so when they go back home, their relative have said, no, when she dead, she give it to me. You know? And so they have a problem with that. But the number of Jamaicans here also live abroad, but would like to experience the Jamaican culture and the Jamaican lifestyle. We would like to see a placement arrangement between the diaspora and the parish council, where people can leave here, young 18 to 25 or to 32, go to Jamaica 6 weeks to 6 months on a placement where they're actually working in the parish council or in a national bank or in some ministry and getting paid. They're actually going on placement. This is what Beresford was hinting at, and we would like that arrangement, and I think this is what Serena was also saying she's done. We would like that arrangement to be considered as a policy.
Hello, sorry. Why is it gone to 32 though?
Sorry?
Why 32?
32.
You said 32.
So I use the United Nations definition of young people. I think it cut off at 32.
Can I just say something, Ben?
Yeah.
Yeah, but it still doesn't hide the fact of what's going on in Jamaica, okay?
Sorry,
can I just say?
Yeah.
if my son said he would like to go on a placement in Jamaica for 6 months, you know, it could be in a bank, it could be, you know, any establishment in Jamaica, me personally, I'd be of concern. It would actually cause me, I'd feel concerned. We do have to,
Sorry.
yeah. What it is, I know that there's a lot of propaganda, and I know that
There's
everything.
a lot of stigmas as well.
That's right, a lot of stigmas. You're right, but unfortunately, that's what makes us cautious, you know, and especially in sending our young people to Jamaica. I do feel we need to build the trust. Okay, I don't know how we're going to do that. We need to think of ways how we can build the trust. In our young people going to Jamaica, not alone young people, anybody really, you know. So that's the conversation that needs to be had. The
Can we let
security,
the few people and the young lady.
The young lady at the back there.
I wanted to know how would taking people from England and bringing them to Jamaica to do jobs in Jamaica, how would that help the Jamaican people if we're not taking the Jamaican people and giving them their jobs? In fact, we're taking over, we're not out. It's not helping.
rather the other way around.
So it has to be. Would you say that would need to be considered and thought about in a way that's not detrimental to them?
Absolutely.
No.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I need to. At the end of the day, what we are looking at is our young people who are Jamaicans over here, and what we can do to get their culture going. What do Jamaicans out there that are looking for jobs? That's the problem of Jamaica. Simple. No, can I talk to Gareth? I just want to go to.
Kwesi ask a question.
No.
Foundation.
Let me just chair this meeting. I'm going to the hand that was up first.
That was him.
Yeah. Good evening, all. Good evening. Yeah. Okay. I think one of the main problems that we have is violence, and a good majority of us would like to go home, but fear from doing so. And the lady there just highlighted about her son going over, and she'd be fearful. I think it's pretty simple from where I'm standing, because there's a war going on, especially around election time, according to the colours you're wearing. How ridiculous is that? In this country, we go to the polls, and nobody knows what we're voting for. And there's no war between you and I.
Gareth, I think what you're talking about is a lot of countries, in a lot of countries, political parties have their party colours. Yeah, well, there are party colours in the UK, but what?
But they're not branding issue, are they, on the streets?
No, what I'm saying, my brother, that's not the cause of the violence.
It's part of it.
Because you wear a orange, people wear.
It's a large part of it, because there's a war going on.
Can I just say something, please?
All right.
So people who are my age group, right, we love being active and we're very productive. However, when we are in environments for change, we would like the way we do things to be incorporated into how the meetings and the outcomes are being achieved. Yeah? Now, one thing I'm here to do is incorporate that. And I would love us to really get proactive and write down what our individual issues are with people returning to Jamaica, what's as organisations and as professionals and people who speak to a lot of people, so that we can actually get a brainstorm vision board of what's really going on the streets, because you guys are on a grassroots level. Otherwise, for me, Ben, and I'm not taking over the meeting, and I love you to bits,
No, but
I feel like I want to just get that bit done, so then when I go away and speak to people, again, I can say, this is what we discussed at the meeting, this is what everybody was thinking, and therefore, when you come next time, I will give them a call to action to this is what we would like to do next.
Okay.
All right?
What I want to ask you, because I need to get to number 3 very quickly. Yeah, why is this door? Can I just ask, we've got one policy proposal, which is this executive agency. We've got this, another one about the violence/gun license. We've got a proposal about the car license, the car fees for returning residents. And we've got this 4th one is the placement of young people. Not all of it is agreed. But my final question on this matter is there anyone here that has another issue that they feel could be an issue in itself?
Yeah, that's why I told them to write it down so
No,
that we
listen
can
to
and
me.
then everybody will talk.
Just a minute,
right?
Serena. I just want to hear it verbally. Just one more. Is there anyone here with an issue that we could write down and say that's another issue?
Can I just make a proposal?
Yeah. Is it about an issue?
Well, it's an issue and maybe a solution. I don't know. You know when you mentioned about the exchange program,
Right.
about a young person going to Jamaica.
Right.
We all know there's issues in Jamaica with young people, okay, because they turn into crime, they're doing all these things. So what about reversing the situation in inviting a young person as a spot, yeah.
What I'd like to say, you see, Jennifer, is this. If we agree that that's an issue, the placement, that we could present as a possible policy, before we get there, what I want to leave with here is, can we have a team of 3 or 4 people who will take all of these and look into these intricacies that you're talking about?
We can include them, Ben, once we include everybody else.
If I could say, I think that's a good point for us to see if we could flush out what broad issues could be.
That's right.
But my sister's making a good point. Because I'm thinking, my mind is going around what it could be. But it could be that if we took 5 minutes among ourselves to contemplate it, we'll actually come up with the 4 and 5.
All right.
I can't think of
all right.
but I'm sure I could if I turn to my left with me and Max brainstorm for a moment.
Okay. Can I put that, say yes, we will do that, but not now in this, we'll do it in the meeting because I'm anxious to get on to the other section. Right? I don't want to.
Ben,
no, please.
Ben.
I'm asking you. Can I consider that?
But that's what they want. So if we just chill for a bit.
No, I am asking the. I've heard what he's saying. Don't interrupt me, Serena. I'm chairing the meeting.
Yeah, but you
no, I am chairing the meeting. Can I just say, I heard your suggestion. Can we leave that that interaction that you're asking for in abeyance until I just cover some of it, because I'm anxious not to miss that out.
Right? Okay, as long as we come back to it.
Yes.
That's right. As long as we come back.
Yes, young man.
No, sorry, go ahead. Actually, the point I was going to say is, it sounds like we're just going around in circles. You're both talking about the same thing, so let's do what you're saying, Ben, and then maybe come back and pull out any more.
Right. So imagine the scene then. On the 8th of August, when we meet with these people, we have to have some carefully agreed policy proposal that we're going to get to them.
Yes.
Right? Good. How are we going to organize that event?
How long have we got?
It's
October.
It's October. It's from 11 o'clock, good point. It's from 11 o'clock in the morning till 7 o'clock, and it's going to be in 3 sessions. Session 1 is the policy discussion. That's where we're looking at these policies. We will meet with them and discuss present these policy as proposals. And as I'm talking to you, please bear in mind that I'm talking with them in Jamaica as well. I'm having what they call it Zoom meetings with them, and they're telling me what they want and things like that. Number 2, the second session is a public meeting. What's the difference between the first session and the first? I think the first session is like people like yourselves who have already sat down, looked at these things, and I'm so embarrassed to say it, because the intellectual level of that first session might be higher than the public session. Is that people coming to the public session is going to talk about bad road and.
I was just about to say, not necessarily.
You don't think so?
No, because you're assuming.
No, I'm not assuming. That is what we've discussed.
I think it's going to be on the higher side.
I've been to public session for years.
So fine, but I'm saying is that you're saying you're having a public, yeah, so the intellectual could be different. But I'm saying you don't know that.
I'm saying I do.
Yeah, we can't.
Can I say maybe, no offence, that maybe it's the language and maybe you're trying to say that the first session is like a strategic meeting. Is that what you're trying to say?
Yeah.
So it's like kind of like strategic.
Thank you very much. Thank you very
But I
much.
agree with what Elaine said. Though.
Yeah,
I don't
you
think
never know.
that it doesn't mean that in the second session someone can bring something, different.
All right. So the first session is more strategic then. Thank you very much. Great. And the public session now.
I think you're outside of the system and digging you out of a hole.
No, I just.
Talk out of lots of holes here.
No, I've just said thank you very much. We appreciate
us
it.
1 minute at the
Now,
show.
the second session is a public meeting. We'll break for lunch after 11 till about 1, and then we'll have the public session.
Can I say, is that date set? Because I've just realised that I'm at a conference on that day.
Yes.
Yeah, I want to get a representative to it.
Okay. It's set in stone, I'm afraid.
Yeah.
The third session, and then the third session would be an entertainment. They would like to finish up with a little celebration of our 60th anniversary. Would you like to come in here, Marcia?
We're doing cohesion now.
Yeah, okay. Right. The first session is 11 till about 1 till lunch.
Okay.
2 hours.
2 hours.
From 1 till about 2. This is not definitive. We have to come back to this. 1 till about 2 is lunch. Or 3. 1 till about 3. Because I think, Philip, you're trying to arrange for them to go to the council house to meet the mayor.
This is obviously a work in progress. Very early.
Ben, I would
The
be
lead of the
discussing
council
the
is away.
times
We're still.
throughout the day.
This is still being.
Yeah.
Obviously organised. Because if I can just say a word, the reason why it's important that me want to do it, it's the delegation did want to meet in the civic centre in the council. We weren't able to arrange that for practical reasons, so we thought, as a kind of compromise, they could go and meet, their delegation could go and meet up with the Lord and the lead of the council. But this is a work in progress. The lead of the council nowadays, and so. But obviously, we can report back about that. Yes, but that would be important for them because that's one of the things they wanted.
Right. So you're saying that about 1 till 2, then we'll have lunch to incorporate their visit to the council house. So we're looking at 3 o'clock for the public session.
Okay. What about the networking with, is that the lunchtime where people will be introducing themselves?
Do you know that you're not going to get any young people coming to this? How are you?
Can I just answer that question, please?
Yeah.
Okay.
Sorry, say that again, please.
Is there going to be enough time for networking, like through lunch, so you can introduce yourself, speak to the delegates? Is it 1 hour long enough for that?
Then I think what we should probably
Can I? Is it answering Jennifer's question?
Yeah, I think it's.
Is it answering Jennifer's question?
Yeah,
Okay.
I think probably because we've got limited time here, probably what you should agree to do is to have that brainstorming session and have a working group to organise this thing, because I don't think this is the right environment. We need about 5 or 6 people to sit down and organise this, and then bring it back to the main group.
No, but I'm just going to give you the broad over. This is not set in stone. So Jennifer's question is, during the lunchtime, will people have time for networking and things like that, which you not answered?
I feel like that's kind of obvious.
So what we'll need to...
Ben, look.
Could you please? I'm
No,
going to
because
ask
do
you
know
for a
what,
second
Vicky?
time. No.
Because one of my
Excuse me,
members left
Serena.
already.
Yeah, that's fine.
Right.
Somebody has asked me a question, and I'm going to answer the person's question. Please. So, will we have time during that session for networking? I would say Yes.
Okay.
You know,
Before 11,
and then,
networking then.
and I'm answering the
Yes.
original question of somebody asked me to give an idea of the breakdown of the day. That's the first question, which I haven't finished. After the public session, which I think if we said from 3 to 5, and then the entertainment is from 5 to 7, it'll go straight into, that's how the day will look. That's how they are thinking in Jamaica. And then finish at 7 because they have got to go back to London to fly out the next morning.
Could the arrival be set up with 10 o'clock, 10:30, if you allow for a little?
We thought about 10 o'clock originally, but they're saying that for them it's a long day.
But it's still, for us, it could still be 10 o'clock. It's still
It's
front
been
end.
weeks before
The
them
attendees.
actually coming.
Well, okay, based on Ricky's suggestion about the planning group, yes, we could take that into account.
We need that meet first,
Yeah.
then, you know, we can get things organised.
Okay.
And then before we meet them.
Identify who will be in that planning group now,
Right.
as well as that.
Before we come there, Serena?
I just think you really need to consider about how I'm going to engage the young people, and you know, in terms of this event, because I don't know, I still haven't established what we are discussing, what we're putting forward, what's the proposals that we're
Yeah.
putting forward. We're talking about the time we're going to get there. Yes, please.
Right.
Because
So
the
now,
time when it get
if
there is so
we got about 25 more minutes to finish. So we say, yes, Calvert.
My understanding of this visit from this delegation is not just about meeting us to hear our issues. It is also for us to get a sense of what the government is waiting, what ideas they have to address some of the issues that we are concerned, like the crime and the violence and all that. So they will be able to say to us who are here outside of Jamaica, away from it, what affected by the same, what are our thoughts, what kind of policies we have.
Yeah. Like, I haven't heard your thoughts except for...
So I think we need to put ourselves in that mindset. Right? It's not for them to just be hearing from us, it's for us to hear from them also. So,
I don't follow you, Calvert.
No.
So, no, what I'm saying,
Yeah.
wouldn't that delegation be bringing to this meeting an idea of what they would do when you're in government?
Well, it's not necessarily, because it's for us to understand what they're trying to tackle, and then we align it to what they're doing
what I'm saying?
as well. Well, kind of.
If
yeah.
you-
It's not like what I'm saying. Anybody is
So-
Let the chair,
of course.
I hear Ben,
Yeah.
also at the Serena point.
I'm not listening to, I'm listening to the person on the floor.
to me.
That's right. When somebody's on the floor talking, I would like to hear what that person, rather than you coming in and bringing something else. I'm not listening to you while somebody's on the floor. Yeah. So may I say this? And I'm sorry. It's just be good manners.
Ben, answer the question, please.
Right. So, Calvert, I would really like to think that we shouldn't go to this meeting with going to hear what them have to say. I think we as diasporans should be able to say, from our perspective, this is what we are bringing to you. Can you put this in place in Jamaica? Is that something? Yes.
Yeah, thank you. Ben, it's obvious what the brother is trying to say, but...
It's obvious what the brother is saying, very transparent and clear to me. Obviously, if they're coming here, the brother used a good term as a government in waiting. They would have policies to what they plan to do in Jamaica, what are the issues in Jamaica. Obviously, it has to be a reciprocal relationship. We need to hear from them also what their plans are, what they think of doing. I'd have thought that's what the public session would be about. I'd have thought that's what the public session would be about. They'll be given an opportunity to pontificate, if you like, to speak, to tell us what their policies are, and then we can respond, raise our questions. Here's what, 2 hours is a long time. So clearly what the brother is saying to me then, if you're listening, is very clear to me that obviously they must be given an opportunity to say what they want to say, and then we can respond. That's obviously.
They're coming here to hear what we have to say.
They have nothing to say.
No, but in return,
They have the public session where they're going to address the public. But there's a session where they would like to hear from us what policy proposal we'd like. We're not afraid of that.
You haven't asked them.
We haven't discussed that
That's
yet.
what I'm saying. We haven't
We've looked
discussed
at-
that. You've said what you think and what your people think, but you haven't asked the audience.
But time-wise, because you've got membership fees, you've got nominations, and you've got any other business. So when are we going to discuss that now?
Yeah.
Sorry, can I just say something very quickly? So I don't think we're necessarily at cross purposes. I think what Ben is saying is that we as the British need to be very clear about what we want to say to the politicians when they come. But after we've put forward our policy proposal, there should be time on the agenda for them to be able to respond.
The public, yeah.
So when are we going to establish what we're putting forward?
It could be either confirming some of the things that we are proposing, as well as they may bring additional things to the table. But what you're saying is that we need to be very clear and we need to
Absolutely,
be...
yeah.
Which
Because
is
that's
fine.
what they've asked me to tell you. That's what they want.
Yeah, but providing that there is time on the agenda for them to be able to respond
Yeah.
to us.
Right.
Can I make another
What they're
suggestion?
saying, what second then? What they're saying, they're bringing these different ministers with different portfolio, so that any different policy we can, each different minister will respond to it.
Because of time constraints, this is a suggestion. Can we arrange a meeting just for that? Because we need to
I
think.
think so. I think
Because it's the first time I'm hearing this,
Yes.
and you can't just say, well, let's do this, let's do that. So we need to, like I said, plan, the planning group of what we're going to discuss in terms of policies. We can even go home, think of what, that is passionate to us, then we can bring it to that meeting.
That's right.
Because I think it's too much doing it now.
To have a little time and brainstorm here, then we can take it away as a planning group. And then, we work with that.
Ben, I think we should go straight into this 5-minute plan.
Yes, to that.
I was just brainstorming a moment.
Okay. Can I say something really,
For 5
really
minutes,
quick?
we'll come back.
Just one, yeah? In response to what Jonathan said over here as well, I think that in regards to the policies that different politicians have in their proposals, maybe that could be paperwork. So actually we could get what their policies
Printed
are,
off.
what they're proposing, but via paper.
Mm.
So it's not necessarily a discussion like that, and then that could then go into, sorry, I'm terrible with names,
Like a
what
report.
the lady said over here. So then when it goes into the public piece, all the questions, then actually if anyone's got any additional questions from that as well, then that can be incorporated. Does that make sense?
No, I didn't follow you.
Right, so the gentleman over here had spoke about, well, what about their policies?
Right.
What policies are they bringing?
Right.
Yeah? Now, I think it's very clear.
And
what
I've
he
said that,
and I was clear.
They said they're not coming with none.
Yeah. But they must have something.
No, they're going to have a public session to speak to a public. But they want to hear from us. What is it that we would like them to do for us?
But Ben, I've got that bit.
Right.
What I'm saying is in Jamaica, they must have some idea. Some
But then that's something that we'll
That's in the
probably
public
go
session.
away and figure
Yeah, but
out.
that's what I'm saying, paper.
So
we should have something, like a bundle or something.
They must have
So that
something.
fit the
They must,
bundle.
they must have some policy in Jamaica with the
I
working.
hear that, but we could stare down that line of engaging with them.
Yeah.
But I think, as Phyllis said, as Robert said, that's the public side of this.
Yeah, so what's their side of
Can I
things?
just make a suggestion? That in terms of this 2-minute, 5-minute brainstorming, to get together the 2s and 3s, I've already chosen to get together. with
Okay, let's go. Let's
yeah, and then we can discuss some great stuff.
Talk quietly among yourselves.
Some stuff,
let's
some
go to
actionable
this.
stuff.
What was it, Jennifer and Serena? What was you proposing now?
We're going to do their little group to talk about what they think the issues are that's preventing people from returning to Jamaica, and then we can have
Only
a discussion
people returning. Only that
about,
one
and the
issue.
stuff that we've talked
Any
about.
other issues we've discussed?
Any
as
other
well?
issues that they
Can we
want?
do, there's 4 of us, should we do like the 4 people and then just go
I think I'm just going to have a mental break, to be honest.
Can I make a practical suggestion? What normally happens in this situation, you say, you break this into groups.
That's how it's
One session here, one group here.
Do you know what? You're all adults. Do what you want. You can sit in your own seat. You can chat to the person next to you. You can go in a group. Do what you want.
Can I just
Whatever. It doesn't really matter.
Can I just ask, how do you suggest we should?
I think, basically, I'll take a bunch out there.
Yeah, you take a bunch out.
5 minutes, you know, people.
And then the next one stays in here, and then somebody goes somewhere.
And I'll just wander around and listen. Yeah, I'll wander around and listen.
Yes.
Yeah, you take a photo.
You can chill there, but do you want some water? Do you want a patty?
Calvert.
Are you part of the same
Me and you going to talk.
I need to stay after. Yeah, I'm going to come back in 5 minutes and we should have kind of round up and we'll discuss. Yeah? Would you like to join me?
Let me go and give them some paper to write.
No, not give them no paper, just...
No, see, look at the agenda, you can use it with
This is impressive, you know. Nobody can get these numbers after Zoom. Anybody try and get numbers like this after Zoom is impossible. They won't come out. Just
Ricky. Senior politicians coming. And what they're asking, when we go into government, what are the policy measures that you want to look at?
So therefore, what we'll do now is when they come back with whatever the answers are,
what I'm going to get to know is I'm having a problem that they have difficulty picking up, for example, autism.
Is it there? Probably there.
Oh yeah, I'm not. What I'm having a problem is there an intellectual ability for this group?
No, but listen, bear this thing in mind that this group, right, is the wrong place to plan it anyway. But what we're going to do from this group is some idea that we will then interpret and then put into a more intellectual as the planning group. Does that make sense? So whatever they come up with, it will be translated in a package that will be suitable. Does that make sense? Because really, this is not the plan to plan that anyway. But then it's good to get ideas from them as well. They need to have ownership over what's going on.
There is fruit. I didn't come here with my own ideas. There is a which is what we've been discussing for a long time. Listen, a lot of people want to say, oh, what do we do with the guns in Jamaica? 86% of all dead, the 1,500 dead, 86% are one killed by guns. And that is what people want to talk about. When you talk about violence in Jamaica and the psychological and all this other stuff, people want to say, excuse me, I have no time for the second. Can you remove the weapons? That is the cause.
And just about what happened yesterday, Serena was a good idea about this, but she was not right to try and overtalk you. Because you're the chair, and I'll make sure she knows that. Not to do that.
I think I like her enthusiasm.
It's about having respect for the chair.
If I'm answering one person's question,
she has to go through you. I don't know if she understands that. I'll make sure she does.
Could I borrow a pen? If you got a pen, I could borrow it, please. Thank you.
You know, I don't know your name.
Barbara White. When you used to have the senior citizens group at Chapter Street, and then, remember Miss Allen? Remember Miss Allen's niece?
All right.
Yeah. And when you started off at the corner of Barker Street there.
That's right, that's
So
right.
I've been around.
That's right, nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you, to see you,
So I think what Enrique said, we get back to their ideas and then we can formalise it into a
Next time it's not
this policy group, so that we can take all the feedback that we receive and so we because we may find similarities between different groups, so that's fine. So we can formulate it into one question. We'll probably get about 5 different points, and it's better that we have more points for the delegates than less. And to say, well, these are serious issues. I don't think we should categorise it to only 5. If there's 6, let's give them 6 of these and the issues. And then the work party now will formulate them. So and then we may get another form from the different groups. And then we say to the delegates, these issues, this is what we need. We can word it in a way so that as opposed to, and then when they have a public meeting now, where is it? When they have the public meeting now,
we need to extend it for at least another 5 minutes. We won't be able to take the first
okay. Yes, and then
Ben, can you tell them to round up now?
No, we're going to extend it for another 5 minutes. Let just ask for an extension.
Let me know.
Well, just telling you now.
Just ask for another 5 minutes.
We've only just agreed this, so we've not had a chance to even share it. I'm going to just been asked, and I'm going to share it with Ben, and we're going to announce it.
You're going to announce that we've got another 5 minutes?
Yeah.
Shall I?
Go on if you want.
We were out, sorry. And then she's going to do things on the board.
I'm worried that
I've told you about that.
signed up to these
No, Ben, this is all to do with the planning group.
Yeah, the planning group can work. So what you say, the planning group.
Don't try and do that here. Planning group.
No, because
Gareth is the driver.
He can be at the planning group.
Yeah.
So, in fact, what covers this right? Choose 5 people to me. That's it. Choose 5 people.
No, the planning group that exists now. You're going to put another 5 or 6 people in them.
Oh no! Oh yeah! I think we need to have a specific one for this one. Yeah, for this one because they've got different skills. Like for instance, there might be somebody with.
So that's what I'm saying. Are we going to set up a planning group
for specifically this one? A working group, yeah.
What do you say?
A working group.
He's saying to put up a planning group for the
working group, yeah.
To plan the program for the day.
Yeah.
Yes, we could do that, and then one to do the questions, to formulate the questions in a strategic fashion.
So we're looking at 2 groups. One to this for the day, operational activity, and another one to look at the issues.
Look at the issue and how to formulate what we get from the feedback.
Okay,
because that needs to be trashed out, so that when we go during the day, there's no argument. We go there with one voice.
One's a functional one of how it's going to happen.
The other one is like a strategic asking what questions we're going to ask. So we can get those people quickly.
So on the planning group, I will lead this for the events. So, I will lead this, and then who wants to join me on that? Because so that I can just keep some order and control.
Nominations, what's that then? Nominations.
There are people here who wanted to go, we can skip that. And instead, could you pick my pen up?
You got it?
Instead of that, we could put
you can carry that forward.
I don't think we'll have time to nominate people for that now. Let's keep it very forward, I think, really. Because I think we should kind of take it all the teachers' service thing. And then get the two planning groups. And then get data for next meeting.
Okay, so for the planning group for the question, you're going to ask someone who wants to lead on that, or have you got someone in mind? So you need two.
I'm going to lead on the policy.
Okay, all right. So you want some people to join you on that? Yeah. Yes. Yeah.
I think you need to lead on both, to be fair. Or you lead on the functional stuff.
I can lead on the functional on the stage.
I think we should get them to do that.
Yeah. Now that I've got the time.
Where's Serena? Serena?
Okay, guys.
So we're just going to get some feedback to get some ideas.
Hello.
How are you doing, McGregor? Nice to see you.
I made it.
Please, guys, hello. Stop. Every street, keep behind you.
We need to just feed it back quickly.
Jennifer,
it's the same type of thing as Unison, and I'm representing. It's a shame. Feedback and
Hey, welcome back, everyone.
I'll feedback first and get out.
Okay.
Just a minute, Serena. Excuse me. Yeah. Hello, Sanko. Can I ask you? We're gonna do some feedback. We're gonna make it quick because we've run out of time. What time is it now? 20 past 8. 26. So that's nearly half past. We got 5 minutes. We're supposed to finish 8:30. How long do you think this feed? How long do you think this feed?
How long is the feedback going to take?
Yeah.
Not very long. We just need to, have a quick discussion about 15, 20 minutes of your time, and then fine.
Okay.
Just so that everybody feels fulfilled and got out of them what they need to get out of them, I guess.
Okay, so I'll feedback from my group. Okay, we covered quite.
Order, please.
The group at the back. So we covered quite a few points, and some of the points were discussed in the meeting anyway. The exchange group is definitely a good idea, but that's not a policy. That's something that I think is going to work, as an action plan, okay? In other words, it's for us to put a plan together for this exchange process to take place. We're talking about policies, okay?
You say it's not going to be a policy?
Well, what we looked at as a policy is looking at the violence, which is discussed in terms of the guns.
Well, let's just deal with the exchange one first.
Okay. Right, the exchange is a similar concept to what we were discussing earlier, where somebody from the Caribbean, Jamaica, comes over here, we facilitate that, we make sure that all the safeguarding and everything's in place in terms of making sure that all the due diligence is done. In return, somebody from here, a young person, would go to Jamaica and they would be supported by a similar setup in Jamaica.
Okay.
That's the exchange.
Can I just stop you there? So what you're looking at, this group, is an exchange. You're not looking at a placement.
Ben, what you call the place is exchange?
No, it's two different
The
things.
important point you're making, it shouldn't be a one-way process. It shouldn't be just people coming from England going to Jamaica.
They are not.
There should be people coming also from Jamaica, whatever they do. And we were also
We can't
impressed.
take on any extra.
We were also impressed by these ideas.
Just share the ideas and just share the ideas.
Okay,
and then we'll talk about them.
let me just finish up.
All right, let Jennifer just finish.
So in terms of policy change, we was talking about obviously the violence that's going on in Jamaica. I actually raised the point about the police. I think the police needs to go back to basics because obviously the way they're conducting themselves. So there may be a policy in terms of their training, okay, and the best way for them to, manage their community in Jamaica in terms of policy changes. Finally, this is a big subject and it's bigger than what we're discussing here now. We need to form a steering group for some of these issues that's been raised. Like we meet on a monthly basis, once a month, and we discuss issues in Jamaica and what we could do to...
Well, that's what the organisation's about.
Yeah, I'm just saying separate,
Yes.
like the steering group, so we can actually brainstorm and discuss it properly.
That's what the organisation's about. Okay, who's the next group? Who's the next group?
Oh yeah, you're starting group next.
Okay, so this is our group. Pretty much we reiterating what was said earlier. So we looked at the security and the safety, also the perception about people wanting to go back. It was felt that repatriation of people wanting to leave here and go back to Jamaica, there could be some help or aid in regards to that. One of the biggest things, repatriation, help and aid or assistance or navigation. We looked at the healthcare system because we felt one of the main things is around people from here going over there was understanding and how to navigate the healthcare system.
Is another one?
Repatriation. Yeah. And then we looked at the shipping, the whole shipping, whether there is some assistance in regards to people wanting to leave here and ship everything over. We don't want it to be at extraordinary cost or extortionate cost. We also agreed with the point that you made, Ben, in regards to appointed returnee person, such as somebody equivalent to the embassy and somebody that we could go to in the event of anybody, whether it be similar to an embassy and you wanted to bring any considerations or concerns there. We also look at the education exchange programs. I think you've covered that, so I won't labour the point. And we also looked at the legal system. So if a returnee went to Jamaica and there was any issues around the legal system, how we would negotiate, navigate our way around the legal system. I know that Jamaica legal system is similar to British or based on the principles of the British legal system, but we still need to know who to go to, how to do it, and if you get into any legalities, whether it be land, whether it be educational issues, whether it be issues around crime, whether it be the police ripping us off, whether it be anything on that level, we need to know who to go to, who to appoint, and how we navigate ourselves. Not just through the police system, but the whole legal system, including the courts in general.
Okay, brilliant. Next group. Who's the next group?
Who's the next group? Next group?
Okay, I was kind of, we got into a little man-huddle in that corner here. Let me just say, this wasn't discussed part of that. The strongest cultural import that Jamaica has.
This wasn't discussed, it's just your view.
It's what I want to put it in as policy. I never discussed it because we had other matters to discuss.
Please, before you
feedback on this one.
Let me just say this one. Okay. Please. The biggest cultural exchange exchange Jamaica has is, we're going to say I'm using the branding, so but in Ghana, the biggest cultural exchange is Jamaican language. What I'd like to see the policy is that the language of Patois is developed as the first language of Jamaica.
Next one.
And begin to take that very good. Yeah, and the language development. The need the first language, the mother tongue language must be developed as the lingua franca of Jamaica. English is the second language. Learn to speak it very well. What we spoke of, our brother here spoke very eloquently about importing and exporting. We're importing mass-produced products that we grow at home. Why are we bringing in so many foreign kind of imports when we grow tomatoes, for example, or we grow other matters?
So what is it that you want?
So less reliance on importation. Okay.
So what is that policy?
So
we just listed them there.
Yeah, we haven't developed a policy very, very clear, but it's around food we eat. We produce already, but we import it into the country. Now, the other one is so farming is that one. Looking at improving the quality of farming and the status of farming in Jamaica. Want to put it back where young people want to be on the land and they want to become farmers and so on. What was the other one? Oh, right. This is a simple one that we discussed as two elders. And it's kind of underpinning the balance thing here. This notion we have in our culture, very strong in Africa, that's why I think that some of the balance is less. The respect for elders. Yep. We need to go at the root basics of respect for elders. But elders are going back. And I would expect an elder to walk around. Yes, they have to address the whole issue and reassert the idea that respect for elders is sacred to our society. So elders coming home, they respect the elders.
Go next to the next one.
So that's, I think that was how we...
Is there any more of that?
Yeah, we have got.
Okay. That's enough. What should
manufacturing. Oh, okay. Manufacturing. So yeah, something again related to the farm very much. That we're manufacturing. Yeah. So what would you call it in economics? So you don't just produce the thing from the tree that here, for example, but you're tinning it and you're in-house. Yeah, and then you export it. Then there's work economics. Okay, guys. The next value adding of our products. Adding value to the products.
Integrated development. Yeah.
Hold on.
Right, so I'm just going to emphasise this. Other than a lot of stuff that we discussed is there, I just want to give more detail to some things.
Well, don't give details.
No, right, so basically we're talking about the lack of positive channels being broken. So when we just spoke about that, is like, when we talk about first of all, exchange of experience, we think that it should go beyond just the young bracket from like 18 to 32, whatever the age is.
Okay. So that's the age bracket to be
extended
and be extended.
Yeah. To be extended.
I don't know.
Yeah. So that's to be
What's the next
extended.
one? The next one.
We spoke about, when we were talking about crime and violence, one of the things that was picked on was that actually it's not crime and violence everywhere. So actually thinking about, the areas where it's not seen. I suppose when we're thinking about like exchange and things like that, knowing about employment, coffee, that sort of stuff. The key thing about is why are they not being solution focused around technology? Yeah?
Technology.
Like we're adopting it, that don't even make no sense. That when we're thinking about crime levels of that, there's a bigger place for technology in this. So that was spoke about. I think we also touched on gentrification, which I think was spoke about here. So again, like obviously, like valuing and putting it, within our own resources and not obviously looking for external. Is there anything that I forgot? Because obviously I've like surmised it.
Okay, that's brilliant. So that's the list then. So what we need now is two different groups. One group to look at the functional issues that are going to happen during the daytime, a functional group, and another group to look at these issues. So two working groups really.
Right.
And Ben would head up the strategic group, and you're going to head up the functional.
Ricky, what Ricky is talking about, the functional group, is number 3, the planning event. That is what is going to happen. Are we going to organize to receive them? That's what you're talking about.
Yeah, the practical steps. Yes, so there are two working groups. One working group to look at organising the day, the next working group to look at the formulating the issues that we're bringing.
I'm sorry I didn't get a chance to go through this with you, but if you look at it, we're looking at, if you look at this, you're looking at a lot of volunteers. We want hands in the air now, who going to do things and but
working group.
Yeah. So
could I just suggest that those who are interested in forming the working group, as Ricky suggested, put their hand up and then agree to meet.
Yeah.
Or sit with you, because you're speaking to Jamaica.
Yeah.
So you should be part of that working group.
That's right, yeah.
Come back.
I agree.
I think Ben should be part of both groups.
Yes,
yeah, Ben should be part of both.
may I suggest that in terms of taking this forward, because we haven't discussed it tonight, in taking number 3 forward, I'm going to agree, those people who would like to be part of this, planning this, you can declare now, that's what you're saying.
Yeah.
And this is, for the day, for this event, Marcia is the event organizer. So may I suggest that Marcia chairs that working group?
Of course.
Who would like to be part, is how we do it, who would like to be part of this, planning this, the day?
How often will we meet? Before we just talk about structure, how often will we meet, Marcia?
Well,
I think it has to be from now, once every week.
Probably a week, because we're talking
4 weeks
away.
4 weeks away, so it's got to be every week.
Yeah. So there's a.
And where will the meetings take place?
Well, we can arrange that.
We can arrange it.
Welcome to meet here if you want to meet here.
Okay.
So what do you call this?
SMC.
What do you call this?
This is the functional.
Functional.
The functional. The planning with the functional planning.
So just list the names for that one.
Okay, so we just need names.
Yes, my sister.
Yeah.
What's the name again?
Elaine from Genesis Radio.
Elaine. Thank you, Elaine. How you spell Genesis? E-E-N. Anyone else, please?
Yeah, I'll be on that group.
Calvert, yeah.
Put my name down as well, Ben.
Jennifer.
Although I'm not going to be here that day, but I can still contribute.
Thanks, Jennifer. Calvert, Jennifer, we need about 3 more. Is it?
Yeah, me as well, Ben.
Ricky. And we say Calvert.
Yeah, Calvert.
You probably need about 5.
That should. Who's the transport guy?
Forgive me.
Garnet?
Garnet, put that up, Garnet. Garnet runs a bus company, and I'm sorry Garnet came here, but Garnet, you get a feel of what we are trying to do?
Yes, sir.
All right, good. So, you're going to jump in on this group here, or you're going?
No, they want to be in it.
They want to be in the group. You want to be in this group?
No.
Okay. Anybody else wants to be in this group?
That's enough, I think.
No, that's not enough.
It's only going to be 4 people to plan.
Uno see the list right now, I forgot to.
Yeah, don't worry about that, Ben. Ben, don't worry about that.
Or they can.
Thank you, Shanti.
Yeah, we can sort it.
Shanti.
What about you, Jim?
I just put my name. I won't be down the day, but I'll put my name.
Yeah, you're going to put your name there.
Right. And then uno get around Marcia when the meeting finished. Are we looking at the other group now?
Yeah, the policy group.
The policy proposal group.
I'm going to Ben. Why 2?
Because my brother, that is what's been agreed.
It's good if we have different departments, isn't it? Think about it, that's how it works. An organisation has different departments and everyone does their thing and brings it together. Exactly. Yeah.
Can I change? Can I go to the policy?
You want to come with the policy group, yeah?
I want to judge.
Everybody what?
People got both groups they want to.
Yeah, exactly, we can.
Order.
If they want to,
Order.
Person policy.
Order. Just looking at name. Beresford.
Policy.
Ben, you got my name policy.
Yeah.
Wait a minute. Brother Philip. How you spell Beresford? B-E?
R-E-S-F-O-R-D.
Right. Philip.
Yes, sir.
P-H-I-L-L-I-P.
Serena.
You want to go on that?
Yes, please.
S-E-R-E-E-L.
I might just go in that one as well.
Yeah, you coming in there?
Yeah.
Jennifer.
Change.
And Shanti, you coming in there? Shanti as well.
Shanti, yeah.
And it.
I never ignore you, Shanti. Come on, you know that, man. S-H-A-N.
Oh, you want to say Shanti wants to come off the phone.
Elaine.
Elaine.
Serena, I'll go in there. Yeah.
What's
your name again? Joan. Joan as well.
Joan.
Take Shanti off the phone.
Joan, have you put your name on the registration when you came in? Huh?
I'll put it on there.
Okay. How you spell it, Joan?
Just J functional group. 1, 2, 3. J.
The 7 so far.
6.
J-O-A-N?
J-O,
Joe.
My name is Joanna.
Oh, the functional.
Then we don't want, your mother gave you that nice name, we want to. Joanna. Joanna. J-O-A-N-N-A.
No.
Paul.
We're going to talk about.
Which one, Paul?
We'll probably even find out.
Let me tell you something. No, I'm not wasting time.
Does anybody else want to be a part of the functioning group? Not the functioning group, sorry, the policy group. The policy proposal. What's your name, sorry? Kimberly. Okay, Kimberly. We should have made them write their names down and put their numbers.
My name on there as well.
Jennifer, yeah, and Jennifer. Oh yeah, Jennifer's the
I've got you, Jennifer.
Anyone else? Yeah? And what's your name? Rupert.
You want to go upon the policy?
Yeah.
Right. I am going to go through this name and I'm going to...
Ben, which one do you want?
I'm going to make a decision. I'm going to chair the policy one. Yeah. I'm by the name, my name Bentley, my name no Ben.
Have you got a Bentley? You never take me for your driving, are you, Bentley?
So what are we going to do now?
Can I say one final thing? I'm a little disappointed that nobody know Garnet, sorry. Garnet, you don't want to be in the functional group, the transportation, all them things there, please?
You can be in both.
You can be in both.
No, it is not on any. Garrett is leaving here just like he come in within 2 long hands.
We're looking at volunteers, don't force people to do it.
Garrett?
Volunteers.
People just want wait a minute, Ricky.
I will do what I can.
You can.
I'm very limited.
My sister there with the red coat. We short of people on the functional group.
How many people in the functional group?
Probably can get some other people.
Just about 3.
There's 4.
No, we've got
There's 4. There's Elaine.
Minus Elaine.
Jennifer, come on. Jennifer, come on.
Well, I think we just do one group.
We have 5.
Yeah, Jennifer, jump on.
If they can't,
Yeah, I'm on the policy. So I'm just.
If they can't even discuss this, you're going to get to
Yeah, but I want to put the group together, my brother. I just want to get a name of who so we can ring them and call them. What you looking at you as what the American call a resource person. Yeah.
It's on the functional group already.
It's on the functional group.
It's already on the functional group.
I don't have his name.
Okay, yeah. Function group.
What's his name?
Ambrose.
Thank you, brother Ambrose.
I put my name down on the functional group also.
Philip. Thank you, Philip. I would think that there's no time to lose. You know the wildebeest?
Go on.
Wait a minute, Ricky. I need to put the point. The wildebeest is a baby. Wildebeest baby must start to run 5 minutes after birth. That's where they get hit the ground running. So this is going to be a wildebeest takeoff. So today is the first. I would say we meet every Thursday from now on.
Excellent. Same place.
And I think both groups can meet here.
Next Thursday.
Every Thursday.
What time?
Is it Thursday or Thursday?
Thursday.
Thursday.
For the camera.
So we meet every Thursday. 6:30 is all right for everyone?
Yes.
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay. Eddie, we were going to look at this thing about the Jamaica Cultural Association.
We ain't got time for that.
Can I just finish, Ricky, before we take a shot to be like far?
See, this is the problem.
That's
what happens with violence in the country.
Yeah. We were going to look at the possibility of the nomination for the office of the Jamaica Cultural Association meeting, but we gotta postpone that to another time. We were going to look at nomination. Almighty Brother Banuman. We were going to look at nominations for the Jamaica Diaspora UK National Board. We'll have to postpone that. And I'm going to, this is where it gets difficult now. This is a membership thing. So it's £10. £10, that's all. We really need to get your membership in right now. So if you can come up to me or Marcia, and we take your name and get you the receipt afterwards. My final point is this. I love you all.
We love you too, babe.
Thank you very much for coming on and bring others. Let's make this trip to the UK as memorable, thank you Guy, a serious event. And to answer a question you raised earlier, Sharina, young people will come with your influence and your oomph, drive. They will be here. We want about 120 people minimum. We don't want them to come up here and say one beer hall and look on them. They've been to America, they're going to go to Canada next and then come to the UK. Why they're doing it? Because they want to find out before what kind of policies you would like them to look at so that they can take it to Parliament. Yes, Elaine.
Hi. Where are we going to go when it comes to England? Where's the location? Has that been sorted?
Yes, it is. We're looking at the Legacy Center.
Okay.
Where are you based?
Yeah. Okay.
Oh, that's right. That's right. We're looking at the Legacy Center.
Okay.
We were looking at the town council house, but...
So you can interview.
Sorry, then I'm just going to ask more. Can I ask the chair just a general question? What's their motivation for seeking to know our position, our thinking? What's their motivation?
So they can get ready for power.
If I missed it, then sorry.
All right, my brother. They're going to the diaspora, the international, they've been to America. They meet much before it. They're going to the America, Canada, and the UK, and they want to know from Jamaicans. What are the issues and problems that you, Jamaica, it's an outreach to you. What would you like us to do in terms of, give us a policy that we can run with and put in place for you that you think they did this for us? Yes, Guy.
At the insurance point, they also meeting.
Just a minute, Guy, you also...
They're also meeting with persons in London. So there's a meeting in London.
Yeah, London and Birmingham. London and Birmingham, not Manchester, the Northwest.
That's right. But we need to bring people from Nottingham and Manchester come down.
Good point.
Can we have a little networking now? Can we close it? Can I just mention?
Yes. Marcia just wants to mention.
What's the point? When is the election in Jamaica next week?
I don't know.
When is it due?
I don't know. Yeah. Marcia, just a minute. Ricky, there are some people here whose name you haven't collected.
One point.
Just a minute, please, everybody. Marcia.
I just want to on the front table, there are some sponsorship cards. We are looking for sponsors for the event, and it ranges from advertising in the show guide that will be available on the day, to having stalls, to actually sponsoring the event. So if anyone wants to take a copy, or someone that may be interested, there's a few copies here just to take it.
We've got a digital copy.
Yes, we do.
Send it to me.
So I'm just saying, there's just some printed copies there, should anyone wants to take a copy. Okay.
And one other thing, we have a secretary, but it now works. So I don't know if anybody here would agree to be the secretary for this group, because we can't go on like this. I find it hard.
So
we need a secretary.
next Thursday you can type up something.
Your name is called Joan?
No.
Joan.
Thank you, Ben. Thank you.
You're
Chairman, is the
welcome.
meeting finished?
Yes, thank you all very much.
There's refreshments.